Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So we are going to talk about Primal a lot, the best team on the global side so far. And yeah, turns out the best team is still the Graveborn team. I'm assuming this Graveborn combination is probably the strongest moving forward because I've tested with the Light Bearers and I tested with a little bit of Maulers on my friend's account, and I honestly think yeah, the other factions, either number one, they don't have the units to do the same amount of damage compared to the Graveborn, right, with the likes of Ludovic and Shamira and even Daimon, right? If not, their factional talents are pretty bad against bosses, for example the Wilder side. So Mauler's factional talent is also pretty bad. So generally speaking, Graveborn has the best units with the better factional talent against this boss. So this will probably be the most optimal team. And luckily for us, based off the testing of the Yepeller side, the Daimon at 1 copy works as well. So I did a 1 copy for Daimon on my own VN account. I think it works perfectly fine. We're going to lose some damage of Daimon in terms of the overall damage numbers, but I think if you are just wanting to get the best comp without maxing the Daimon itself, then 1 copy of Daimon is good enough. So that will be the Daimon level or the tier side in case you don't want to increase his tiers itself. So that's pretty much it for the best team, right? For this video, we're gonna test out the 3 different positions or 3 different positionings in terms of the best team to compare between the different like setups in terms of the positioning itself. So starting off with the best damage score, 1761. Okay, so this one is the positioning by VN Minji here. Okay, so this team, let's just run through the replay and talk about the key things to note, like why this is a good positioning. So for this one, Mikola will run up and then Mikola will be positioned in this corner right here. Ludovic, being the prime carrier, will be lifted and then thrown towards Mikola. So what this means is these 4 units will be covered by the Mikola aura. I think Daimon is also covered. I'm not sure whether or not Daimon is within that Courageous Sphere coverage. So this gives you the consistency of the Courageous Sphere coverage onto the core units in terms of the damage side. So Ludovic will be able to get the heals off, and subsequently with the heal itself there's also more damage because that's where the damage comes from. So this will give you this really consistent result. Even on my global server, the score with this team is pretty consistent. So very consistent team in terms of the positioning, and because the units are a little bit more spread out, I'm guessing this team survives a little bit better because Parasitic Spores right here has the neurotoxins at adjacent enemies. So for the second team, right, what I did was I did a little bit of adjustments to Dragon's team. So this is Dragon's team right here. Okay, Dragon's team, but instead I give the energy regen to Mikola so that the Courageous Sphere comes online faster. So for this team right here, what will happen is the same result in terms of the final positioning. So we're going to put this team here so that you guys can refer to it. So the final positioning for Ludovic as well as Mikola and also Fresto is the same. And eventually Daimon as well as Shamira also gets lifted and thrown into the aura circle. So I thought initially this would be much better for me because now we have all the units benefiting from Mikola's aura. But I guess because of the existence of the neurotoxin to the adjacent enemies, it would be better if the units were slightly more spread out so that your allies actually take less damage from the ultimate. So this team over here does quite a fair bit of damage as well. Right now we are currently at 1.74, and then like this is where my whole team dies, unfortunately. So really close to the first team, and I think I'll probably try to optimize the positioning of Shamira as well as Fresto, the other one, so that we can actually get a more safe position for the 2 of them to not clump out with the rest of the team. So that's for the second team right here, or the positioning right here. Now for the third positioning, I did the positioning for, let's see, Dragon's one. Yeah, we took the Dragon's one over here. So this is the Dragon's one. So the second one was a modification to Dragon. This is the Dragon's team. So I think this positioning right here is probably the least consistent. So let me explain why. Because for this one, the units, they will be sort of so packed in the front that the Mikola aura coverage might not be able to cover your core units, which are Fresto as well as Ludovic consistently. So because all of them are very clumped up together, they benefit from the aura, like all of them they get the benefit, but like at the same time, right, you'd want to give the aura coverage to the key units, which are Ludovic for the more consistent heal and Fresto for the more consistent damage. So you can see our Mikola being thrown around, and because the whole front line is very flooded, yeah, like the aura doesn't actually cover everyone at like throughout the battle itself, and this is where we start to lose damage. So I do think that with a good RNG on the toss for the boss itself, we might be able to even beat the other teams, because yeah, if your units are able to survive and Nicola's aura's coverage is maximized, then there is a possibility, right? Because you are able to cover all the units. But at the same time, because as you guys saw, like from this fight over here, the Nicola got tossed around and the aura was like covering only like half the team from one side, and then when thrown to the other side, only covering the other half of the team. So I think this team might have a higher cap, but it is also the most inconsistent. So Shamira as a prime carrier is the most inconsistent, at least based on the testing so far. So if you want consistency in terms of damage just to net your 30 chests, for these few days, try the Ludovic prime carrier position. So these two positions right here, right? The Ludovic one is pretty safe. I think this will always cause the boss to leave Ludovic and then throw into the Mikola Courageous Sphere at the start of battle. So that's pretty much it, just a simple sharing of my finding for the 3 best team, as well as sharing the best team ideas shared by the Pella side. Discord ID or Discord link in the description down below, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!